Okay, so,
Okay.
all right, so here we go.
Yep, nice. So, how do you manage working while being in college?
Cut!
Yeah,
Let's see.
cut.
Let's see. So your first line is, yeah, just right there.
And you gotta say it in a French accent.
I understand.
Oh, not here.
No, don't worry
Hey,
about
Mike,
that. That's just
when you come closer, you're gonna be in that camera. Is that fine?
let's see.
No, I'm just gonna stay on this side so I'm not in camera
No,
view.
don't.
Yeah, so he's gonna be over there, I guess. So okay, that, that works. All right. So take two. Here we go.
Good. So, Phil, you're going to college full time and working part time as a salesman.
Okay.
Cut.
Cut.
Cut. Well,
I'll leave this in. Don't worry. Okay. So take three.
okay. So, Phil, you're going to college full time at ISU and working part time as a salesman. Do you think it's hard to do? How do you manage your classes, studies, and job?
Life can be complex while in college. College life is fun and exciting, but it's also very busy and stressful sometimes. I love going to class, living the college lifestyle, and learning. At ISU, most of my time gets taken up every day doing all my graduate work. It's hard to work in a stressful sales job with being a graduate student. After I finish reading, writing papers, doing research, and going to classes on campus, I'm very tired. Then, I have to go to a busy sales job.
So, what degree are you getting at ISU?
I'm getting the MA in Applied Linguistics and TESOL.
And what do you want to do?
I want to teach English abroad and travel to several countries.
So, how many classes are you taking right now?
I'm a full-time graduate student, and I have to take at least 3 classes per semester. That means 9 credits. Graduate school is very busy, and this is why full-time status means less credits than undergraduate, which is generally 12.
So you're taking 3 classes.
Yeah, I'm taking a class in computers and applied linguistics, another class in literacy methods for non-native speakers of English, and a class in TESOL methods and materials.
So with 3 classes, you're very busy.
Yes, very.
I'm also in graduate school, and I know it's very challenging. I'm getting my PhD in aerospace engineering. So Phil and I are both very busy every day.
Well, what do you do some of your days look like?
Well, I have classes Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. On some of these days, I also have to go work in sales before or after class. During the rest of the days of the week, I may or may not work. It all depends on the needs of my job.
So how many hours a week do you work?
I work about 30 hours a week. I study for many hours every week as well, and I try to balance my sales job, graduate work, and social life as well as I can. It can be hard to stay motivated for college during extremely busy weeks. When a person has to do group projects, write papers, read posted articles online, and have meetings with professors, life becomes somewhat crazy. Then when you add an external job onto your life, it can be very draining and exhausting. I'm sometimes so tired from class that I find it hard to work in sales. The opposite is true too. Sometimes I find it hard to finish papers or other things that I need to do because my job has made me so tired. I need to find a balance every week to maintain my work and sanity in both areas.
Wow, that sounds really hectic.
All right. Phil's telling the whole truth here. Graduate school is so busy.
So what is Monday like?
It's like torture.
Oh, yes, I agree. Well, Mondays are usually busy. I study in the morning and early afternoon before I go to my English 510 class, which meets from 2:10 until 3:30. The class usually consists of a lecture or a student presentation, and then we have lab work. The class meets in a computer lab in Ross Hall on the East Campus.
So, what kind of readings do you have?
Almost all of the readings have to do with computers and applied linguistics. We students call it CALL for short. The readings are very technical, detailed, theoretical, and occasionally more practical. The challenge of CALL is understanding computers and the applications available for languages. Quite a bit of research is being put into CALL today.
Are Rosetta Stone and Pimsleur examples of CALL?
Yeah, they are. Both utilize computers and language learning applications. It's very helpful to use computers for language learning. Since computers can do so much at one time, there can be pictures with text, a video with a script, an online film with captions, and much more. Today it's possible to learn languages more easily than in the past. It's possible also to teach yourself languages more readily on your own if you have the determination and the motivation to stay on task. The computer can be your instructor in many ways.
Wow, so what kind of lab work do you have?
Well, we work with all kinds of software for educational purposes. Since most of us are becoming teachers of English to speakers of other languages, we all made an Excel grading and attendance management project. It's necessary to keep track of students and their assignments, and Excel can track all the teachers' workload pretty well. Anyway, we also made a Camtasia video project, a GoAnimate video, and a series of web pages with Adobe Dreamweaver. Some of us graduate students are making iBooks on the Mac computers. All these projects have been pretty fun, but some have been more difficult than others.
So, what was more of a difficult project?
I think the web page was hard. I don't like working with visual interfaces, so I chose to program the whole project using HTML and CSS. I have a technical college degree and lots of experience in a tech job, and both of them have been helpful for this class. But programming a website has its own challenges.
So what kind of challenges?
A person has to have a lot of knowledge about computer codes, directories, structure, and IT to make a web page work properly. Also, knowing how a server works and how to upload your page is extremely useful. And anytime a person makes changes to a page, those changes have to be uploaded as well. So it can be difficult to make a web page work well.
Well, and it has to be designed nicely, so people will like the appearance and the layout.
True, the appearance and the layout are very important. We have to make web pages appealing for people. The content is important beyond all else, but it's nice to have a pleasing set of colors and a cool layout.
So, to go back to balancing your life, what is a Wednesday like?
Wednesdays can be busy. I have lots of class to do on those days. Recently, my schedule became even busier than normal. I had my call class in the afternoon, a classroom observation for English 99R afterward, and then my 3-hour-long English 524 class until 8 o'clock. I had 2 consecutive Wednesdays like this, and they were hard days. I found that it was important to sleep well the night before and stay energized, diligent, and positive throughout the day. I love to learn and make progress in linguistics, but it can be hard.
All right, that's college life.
Yeah, it is. I know. I'm in college too. It's very busy every day.
But all our learning, going to class, doing projects, writing papers, and working outside of class will be worth it in the end.
It sure will.
All right.
What?
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Take 500. Okay. So Justin, you're studying information technology in college right now. Are you close to graduating? What do you think you would like to do? Is it broken? What happened?
Yeah.
You got this
My
straight.
pages got mixed up.
No, you don't. You're fine. You're fine. I checked them. They're all good. Okay.
So where are you?
We're at the top.
He said the
And
very
I
first
asked
one.
you the question, yeah. So
Okay.
I'm P, remember? So you're in the bowl. You're in the bowl.
I'm in the bowl. So up here is that's not.
I start.
Gotcha.
All right, here we go. Take 502.
502.
So Justin, you're studying information technology in college right now. Are you close to graduating? What do you think you would like to do?
Yeah, well, I'll be finished soon, and afterwards, I hope to get a good job somewhere and start making some good living.
Let's start again. Okay, so take 4. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Take care.
Come on.
Yeah, just like read it like right off
Okay,
the page.
right
Okay.
off the-
So
right down
here we
the
go.
script.
Here we go.
No
Just-
improvising.
just take your time too. Take your time. Don't worry. Okay. So Justin, you're studying information technology in college right now. Are you close to graduating? What do you think you would like to do?
Yeah, I'll be finished soon, and afterward, I hope to get a good job somewhere and start making a living.
What do you think you'd like to do most? Do you want to troubleshoot networks? Maybe become a network administrator? Or maybe go back to college and finish a bachelor's degree in computer science or engineering?
Well, I think I'd like to become a network administrator. The work seems like it matches up with my interest, and all the things I like to do at work.
What are the kinds of things that a network administrator does anyway?
Oh, well, a network administrator manages local area networks, wide area networks, and global area networks. As well, some of the networks can have hundreds of components, and they can also be pretty big. I would be doing things like laying out and connecting cables between servers and nodes, installing devices like wireless transmitters, and receivers, installing and configuring networking software and some applications. Also, maybe installing storage and area networks and probably making user accounts.
Wow, that's quite a bit for a person to handle at a job. You must really love technology and computers to do something like that every day.
Yeah, it seems like a lot. Are there other things that IT people do?
Well, yeah, there are sometimes management duties that an IT guy may need to do. I'm not sure if I would want to do a job like that, but anyway, the duties include things like monitoring daily server traffic and system usage, maintaining user accounts and access privileges, maintaining network logs, updating network application and security software, performing scheduled backups, and performing scheduled tests. Now, also assisting with realization of special projects, writing user documentation, maybe training new users.
Wow, Justin.
Yeah, that's definitely a lot to do. I don't think I would want to be in management. I might go crazy.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I just want to work with technology, like the hardware and software, and maybe some programming.
What kind of programming network administrators need to learn?
Well, okay, generally they learn C++ and Java because those are widely used. Now, C# is also an important newer one because it was developed by Microsoft and as part of its .NET initiative. So C# is good for Windows programming. IT guys also learn programs like SQL and maybe JavaScript.
So you're going to be fluent in speaking with machines. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, at least they can't talk mean to you.
That's true.
So, what is SQL?
Well, SQL, it's a structured query language. It's used as a special purpose language for managing data in relational databases, management systems. So it's used mostly for its query part, which searches informational databases.
So you work with computers, databases, and programming languages?
I do. That's the idea. It'll be fun, and there's lots of jobs. So, Mike, what do you want to do after you graduate college? What are you majoring in?
I'm majoring in Spanish education. I want to teach. But lately I've been thinking about switching to linguistics and maybe pursuing something in that field with a master's degree. It's kind of like what Phil is doing.
Oh, I see. Well, so you want to keep going on in education and teaching and do something with language.
Yeah, I like to study languages and linguistics. It's a fun, interesting subject. I'm in the World Languages and Cultures department right now.
He's in the right spot.
Yeah, that's right.
So what do you like about that field?
Language holds my interest and is definitely cool to study. There are so many languages in the world, and they're all very fun to think about. You can spend lots of time just studying and learning languages.
It's fun too because when you learn languages, you also learn about culture. Every language has its own culture.
Yeah, the culture part is pretty interesting too. Like when I study Spanish, there's a lot of Spanish culture that I learn about. I spent time in Puerto Rico, and while I was there, I gained a lot of understanding about Spanish American culture.
Oh, so languages and cultures go together.
Yeah, they do definitely. They definitely do. Culture and language are linked together very closely.
The languages we speak do, in some ways, shape the way we think. For instance, in Biblical Hebrew, the word for west is yamah, which just means toward the sea. The sea that they were indicating was the Mediterranean. So the sea was important for the Hebrew people in that it showed direction. It was their reference point for west. Sometimes in a language there are implications of kindness given, like when Japanese speakers say the vase broke itself rather than Tom broke the vase. In Japanese, the causal agent is dropped. The guy who did it is not implicated.
Oh, very cool. So you couldn't blame me for breaking anything here. It's all spoken Japanese.
Well, I guess not.
Also, there's a language called Piraha, and in it, there's no counting.
Oh, wow. They don't count?
No, not at all. There are no words for numbers, and no words for indicating quantities. Like in English, we say words like some, many, and every. But in Piraha, there are no words like these.
Because words like these indicate quantities.
I don't think they can keep track of a number of sounds either. They have no words for numbers, so the whole idea of quantities is unknown to them.
Some time ago, there was a speech pathologist named Peter Gordon, who was unable to teach them how to count. He spent 8 months trying.
Wow, 8 months?
It was quite a while. I remember that his study indicated that Piraha speakers couldn't mimic a series of knocks because they're unable to keep count of how many knocks there were.
It was a very interesting study.
Yeah, it sure sounds like it. I can't imagine not being able to count. It'd be strange.
I agree. In the Western world, we do so much with numbers.
I'm certainly doing a lot with numbers in my digital electronics course.
So to get back to the idea of language and culture, it's one of the reasons that I like studying languages and linguistics. I want to do something great in this field one day.
I'm sure you will. So Phil, what are you thinking you want to do after you graduate?
I definitely want to travel and teach English. Traveling can be really fun and interesting. I've gone abroad before, and it's always great.
I remember you were in Israel and Kazakhstan.
Yeah, that's right. I went to Israel in 2012 and Kazakhstan in 2006. I found during my travels along the eastern border of Kazakhstan that I was really attracted to learning about culture, language, and societies. The world is such a big place. It's important for us all to see the value of so many countries, cultures, and languages. People make the world very unique and interesting.
Which language is spoken in Kazakhstan?
Russian is the predominant language there, but Kazakh, which is actually a Turkic language, is spoken more in the south around the former capital of Almaty. There's quite a contrast between the north and south of Kazakhstan. In 1991, the country gained its independence from the former Soviet Union. Since it was part of Russia for so long, Russian was spoken widely and even enforced there. The influence of Russian is more present in the north, mostly because it's closer to Russia as it exists today. In the south, Kazakh is spoken more.
Well, which country did you like the best?
I would have to say Israel. It was beautiful and full of so much history that I've cherished since I was a kid. I love the languages there too. They were exactly in my area of interest. Hebrew and Arabic are very interesting and special languages to me, and in Israel you get both due to the presence of Israelis and Arabs.
Which is also say something about the culture of Israel.
How so?
Well, to begin with, the culture of Israel is more diverse than people think. Today, there are Jews living in Israel who had returned to their land from Russia, Germany, Poland, Spain, Iraq, and even Ethiopia. They were exiled from Israel many times and for many long centuries. When they lived in other countries, they acquired different languages. Yiddish, for instance, is an example of German and Hebrew. Anyway, their Jewish identity stayed the same, but their languages and cultures mixed together with others, and these social ideas then compounded and multiplied further while the Jews were away. So Israel today is a very mixed, cosmopolitan society.
Wow, they must have absorbed lots of social colors from other people groups while they were away.
A good example of culture is found in clothing as well as language.
Oh yeah, clothing says a lot about cultures in the world. It's amazing how different the clothing is in the Middle East, and then you'll look in India, and it's so colorful. And Japan is very much like the U.S. now.
I think Europe has unique fashion these days. Lots of men are wearing slim fit suits and skinny ties. They must feel like businessmen every day.
I think so. Suits are hard to wear every day, but they do look nice. I don't mind a suit myself on occasion. Hey, we're also identifying work cultures too here.
What, some jobs, like a waiter, you can wear almost anything, but some companies don't mind if you wear just a polo shirt and jeans. But with other jobs, you're required to wear a full suit. Sometimes I need to wear a all black suit for funerals. Black is a mourning color in the United States, but in Asia, white is the color for mourning.
Black can look pretty intimidating too. It's a scary color, at least in America.
It's obvious in horror movies who the killer is. He's almost always wearing black.
That's true. As far as white goes, in the U.S., we often use it for good and noble characters. Angels are often shown in white. In The Lord of the Rings, Gandalf becomes the White Wizard, and he rides the white horse.
Yeah, so colors say lots about culture too.
Well, so back to the idea we started with. It looks like the things that we're interested in should become our work in life. Justin, you enjoy computers. Mike, you enjoy the Spanish language and teaching. As for me, I like languages and cultures and traveling.
We'll be able to find jobs in these fields for sure.
I agree.
Cut.